Hi, my name is Kay. This is Kay's Tiny House Adventures, where I am building my very own tiny house. I have zero build experience, but I have lots of drive and some very amazing friends. Last week, I did a video on putting the sheathing on the walls. Well, now I can share how we put the sheathing on the roof, as well as the roofing paper and the house wrap. This thing has finally been pretty much waterproof without putting the siding on. That little titter-tatter, tippy-tappies, that's my dog Taco. Hi. The hardest part about putting the sheathing on the walls was going against gravity and trying to hold up these heavy sheets of OSB like up. With the roof, it was really nice because we were able to use gravity for us and put them down and they were able to rest. Doug had a really smart idea and he cut some pieces of scrap plywood and screwed them into the eave so that the boards would have something to rest up against. That was clutch. Another good thing was that because we were to install these shiny side down, it was much easier to write on the boards where the studs were, so we knew where to nail. Although the actual putting the sheets on the roof were easier than getting them on the walls, it was tricky to figure out how to get the sheets up there. So we did a couple things. If the sheet was cut, it was a little bit lighter, so we were able to kind of hoist it up. But on the taller part of the house, a little too high. So Doug had the idea, and I did not think this would work, but to tie a rope around the plywood and then someone above would hoist it up. I thought, how is it gonna stick? But it worked, thankfully. So we were able to get sheets up there, no problem. We basically lived on the scaffolding that entire day, and I think it only took us one day to put all the sheathing on the roof. All right.
Ready?
Ready. Bill's gonna push us.
You see me rolling. I had to go over the one rock right in there. There's a rock in that one location.
On the steeper side, I was more nervous about it because it's steeper and therefore traction's less, while on the higher end of the tiny house, it's almost like being on a flat. It's like the angle's 4 degrees or something, so it was much more comfortable being up there. Here's a close-up of the eaves we installed once we were finished putting on the lower half of the roof. You can see that it's over the plywood, the blocks we made that we had to screw in meticulously, and here you can get a better feel for the angle that it had to be at so that the roof would be flat. on the roofing paper. So very luckily, in Doug's Mary Poppin bag of a barn, he had leftover roofing paper from a previous project. So we used up as much of that as we could. It was very straightforward. There's lines on the paper. We got the nails with the plastic caps on them. So it was much more hammering, but it was very straightforward on how to do that. We weren't perfect on the front side of the roof, so there was a bit of overhang that Phil started sawing off by hand. This was incredibly difficult and a very hard task. Eventually I was like, y'all should use the jigsaw. Doug did that, but was kind of sawing blind. I think we broke a blade. It was annoying. But then we were able to start on the roofing paper. Paper was super easy to work with. We needed more, and I thought that my property had some. Debbie pointed that out. She reminded me that there was a roll of roofing paper on my property, which bonus because it was just hanging out, laying around. So I got that, and when I picked it up, I immediately got a rash on my arm. And my property's been known to have some poison oak and not very human-friendly things. So I was like, come on. But the reaction was so immediate. I was like, this can't be poison oak. I don't know what this is. So I finally bring it over and Doug's like, it looks like fiberglass and it's definitely different. And it may be used for roofing paper, but for like something else, not what we're gonna do, which is just put metal on top. Because you could like see through it and it was very itchy. So that got discarded. And as we were looking for something else in the barn, lo and behold, Doug found 2 more smaller rolls of roofing paper, which was just enough to cover up the rest of the roof. So that was very exciting. Pitter patter, pitter patter. Last but not least was the house wrap, the Tyvek house wrap. We put that barrier directly on the OSB, and our goal was to use as few cuts as possible. Doug had the foresight of let's pre-cut the pieces so we don't have to deal with this huge roll. That was smart. So we rolled out how much we needed, cut it up. It cut very smooth, like expensive wrapping paper, and we were thinking about using staples to hold it up initially, but we just used the same nails with the caps that we used for the roof paper on the OSB, and that was sufficient.
Does that say Home Depot?
Sponsored by.
That's a good one.
Here is Doug cutting out the paper from the door. Gunner wanted a soft spot to lay on, so she found it. It was fairly tricky to keep the wrinkles out. The house wrap we got was 9 feet tall. They do make shorter rolls, but again, the less seams, the better. There was a lot of maneuvering with the ladder and the scaffolding, but we were able to make it work, and I was really happy with our ability to, where we needed to cut out large sections, we were able to reuse that paper on a different part of the house. Jump ladders! Whoop.
Alright, you got that?
Don't tell Debbie.
It's okay, I have it on video.
Watch me follow the line now.
Ooh. Okay, we're right on that tree.
Probably the most annoying part, similar to putting the sheathing on the wall, was the wall underneath that gooseneck, just because the trailer is in the way. I took it upon myself to do the part under the gooseneck, and it was tricky because it has to go behind this thing. And let's see, I can show where it stops. So it was kind of hard to like put the paper over that, hold it up, and then work from there. Same on that side, but it worked out well enough. It's pretty wrinkly, but oh well. So now the house is wrapped. I'm so glad the shiny stuff is no longer visible because it was a lot. Especially when you're out and like it's sunny, that stuff will blind you. It's very reflective. So I think that'll make things easier. Up next is going to be windows. I'm very excited about the windows. Right now they're all covered up, and so I think when you're inside the house, it's very dark and eerie, and it feels tiny. It's a tiny house, but it feels too small. So I think the windows will really open it up, and can't wait to share that process with you. I've never installed windows before, so that'll be cool. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again soon. Please like and subscribe to my channel so that you can get updates when I post new videos. Until next time, bye! Jacko! Why you giving me look of judgy? Why are you judgy? What is that? Is that a dryer ball? Did you steal a dryer ball? Are you supposed to have that? You have a toy right here. No.